1 year. That is how long I have been living in Russia for today. And I'm going to talk about the things I genuinely love about Russia, things that have been a challenge, and I'm going to give a honest review. I guess that's what you could call it. So, what should I start with? Well, the first thing I'm going to mention is that I genuinely sat down before making this video and I tried to think of things I genuinely have a big distaste for in Russia, and it was difficult. I'm not going to touch on the politics as much. You know, talking about Russia nowadays, it's sort of inevitable to talk about politics, but I'm going to try not to touch on that. So what's the first thing I want to talk about today? I think the first thing I want to talk about is the language. And if you're going to move to Russia, if you're going to consider living here, then language is paramount. You have to, in my opinion, familiarize yourself with the Russian language, because it's definitely something that is a massive challenge. You know, I do a decent job of speaking Russian. I'm not the best in the world. I can get around, but it's not at the level where I can socialize with people without a problem. And I think that the reason why I'm not having, not necessarily the best experience, but the best experience I could, is due to my incompetence in the Russian language. I would just like to show you as well how beautiful this little area is. I mean, let me show you. It's a beautiful area and it's peaceful. Even though there's a main road up here, which is relatively loud, it still doesn't disturb the nice area. And here we have a worker who's cutting the grass with, I believe, a normal rake, not an electric rake. So yeah, language has been a massive barrier to get past, but I need to improve, I need to do better. And ultimately, if you're moving to another country, be it Poland, Russia, Thailand, you should learn their language, because it's disrespectful if you don't. Point 2 is safety. Now, I know I'm walking around in a very quiet area here, but in general, the safety is paramount in compared to England, which I don't think is controversial to say nowadays. It's like beating a dead horse. So as much as that's a positive for Russia, I don't feel like it's like a massive win. I don't feel like it's like, wow, because many places in the world nowadays are safer than England, but still it is a positive. I'm not looking over my shoulder all the time, which is a bad thing, because I feel like I should be doing that anyway, but just that habit, just my subconscious is not registering, you know, that thought process to do that. But safety is amazing, and obviously I have a baby boy on the way, so that makes me feel good. Check this place out. Cool little outside gym area here. Not sure if the equipment would be adequate enough to use. This is quite typical of a Russian apartment block, yeah. There is a little sense of community here. That is one thing I have to say. Whether you like it or not, I mean, it's kind of forced upon you, because you all live basically on top of each other here, and it's quite common for people to wait outside their homes on a bench. Perhaps I can find one here and show you. Aha! So here, this is what I mean. It's a little bench outside the home, outside your entrance of the home. And again, another one here. And the people that live in this block, typically the older generation, sit on that bench and they, not all the time, but they do try and strike up a conversation with you as you're either entering or exiting the building. That leads me on to the next point that I want to talk about, which is the Russian character, who they are as people. And I would describe the Russian character like a coconut. Now, I think maybe this is a common thing to reference, a coconut. I don't know if that is or not. It's something I came up with the other day, is that Russians are very, well, they're known, well, not known, the stereotype, shall I say, is for Russians to be cold and closed. While I think that is true to a degree, once you crack the coconut, they're really lovely people. And I just find that interesting to bring up, because in contrast to the English, this is just my opinion, I feel like we're the opposite of a coconut. We're overly smiley, we're overly polite, whereas in Russia you don't have that here. There is no greeting when you walk into the shop. Hello, how are you today? You know, any of that. It's just straightforward. Throughout my experience, Russians are coconuts. Stereotypes exist because there are an element of truth to it, but it's just an interesting thing I thought I'd mention. And another thing that just came into my head now is, I don't know what it is, but since living in England and coming to Russia, it's like life is, my eyes are, they have a filter over them in terms of like, the things just look nicer. I don't know if that's just a blockage in my brain, I don't know, but like I seem to enjoy the sun, the green colours of the trees and the grass. I don't know what it is. It just, either it stands out more, or perhaps I'm just happier. That's what I've realised. Perhaps it's just I'm happier here. Because that's one thing I can say is I'm definitely happier in Russia. If I went back to England, if I was forced back to England tomorrow, not only would I believe in my wife and baby boy, but I would be very, very, I don't want to use the word depressed because it's overused nowadays, but I would be distraught. That's a better word. This is wild berries, by the way. Basically the Russian Amazon, sort of like a garage buildings transformed into a pickup point. Although it doesn't look the prettiest, what does it do? It does the job. It doesn't need to be pretty, you know. And like I say, you've got all the people living in this building, and there's more buildings around that make it really convenient for them to just either, as soon as they come home from work, grab it on the way, go into the house and forget about it. And just like I mentioned about convenience, there's a school here on the left. And where is it? Right next to all of the apartment buildings. And that's a common thing in Russia. So, yeah, I mean, I understand why a lot of Russians prefer to live in these apartment buildings than in the country, because you're just closer to everything. So overall, ultimately, in conclusion, was moving to Russia from England and living here for 1 year a mistake? Was it a bad choice? And the easiest answer I could give you is no. No, no, no. In fact, I feel extremely happier. Like, my life has improved in all aspects, in my opinion. I just feel better. I just feel better. I don't know why. Like, you could take away some of the things I've mentioned today in a positive light, and I still would say, yeah, I just feel better here. There's something about the place. There's something about the place, which is a video I'm going to make in the future. What is this weird aura that I feel in regards to this country? That's so amazing. So, anyway, thank you for watching the video. I'm going to head to a nice restaurant for a late birthday meal. So, yeah, I'm gonna meet Kat there and enjoy a steak.
Cheers.
Oh, sorry. Cheers. What is that?
Gloves. Yeah. I don't honestly like it, but I like the sauce. I like Tommy's chips, potatoes, veggies. So, try your steak. You dreamt about it as well.
I can't cut it.
It's a bit hard.
You can tell the viewers that I'm not like a high-end. I don't eat high-end food often. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah?
It's juicy. The guy said it would be dry, but it's not.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, steak attack looks fine.
Most importantly, it's this.
Okay. Cheers.
Cheers. Go on then, Kat.
How to eat them? Soft.
What's on top?
Barbecue sauce and onion. Fried onion, yes.
Вкусно.
7 out of 10. Not bad.